Rogue One, a Star Wars story, is considered by several fans of the franchise to be one of the few Disney era projects that holds up in a galaxy far, far away. However, Disney is facing a lawsuit over the likeness of Peter Cushing in recreating Grand Moff Tarkin. Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Airy. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. All right, so Disney is facing a plethora of lawsuits. Of course, most famously, the Gina Carano lawsuit, where she is suing them over her unceremonious firing from the Mandalorian television show on Disney+. However, they are now facing a different kind of lawsuit, this time over the recreation of Peter Cushing's likeness in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. This case is very interesting to me because it seems that the estate of Cushing didn't seem to mind it, and Peter Cushing himself apparently signed a deal with Lucasfilm that allowed them to use his likeness. Now, it might have been in regards to toys and book covers, comic books, things like that, but still, one movie studio who had worked with Cushing previously, or at least in the 90s, I should say, are suing Disney over this. So this is according to piratesandprincesses.net. Disney is yet in another lawsuit, this time over the use of CGI to recreate Peter Cushing's likeness in Rogue One. Cushing, who passed away in 1994, famously played Grand Moff Tarkin in the original 1977 Star Wars film. Tyburn Film Productions is suing the Disney-owned company Lunac Heavy Industries over using Peter Cushing's likeness for the 2016 film Rogue One, a Star Wars story. In the film, actor Guy Henry portrayed Tarkin, and then Lucasfilm added Cushing's face digitally. This started the lawsuit in 2019, 3 years after the film's release. The production company claims they made an agreement with the late actor's estate for permission and paid a £28,000 fee to use his likeness. Tyburn Film Productions claims that Disney did not have their approval, which is why they are suing. Tyburn is run by Peter Cushing's friend Kevin Francis. Francis claims that the actor did not permit his likeness to be used via special effects. Besides filing claims against Disney, who owns both companies, that being the previously mentioned film and Lucasfilm, Francis also filed against Cushing's estate executors who have since passed away in the late actor's management company, Associated International Management. Francis claims that Peter Cushing signed an agreement with them in 1993 for a film called A Heritage of Horror. The actor signed the agreement not to allow his image to be used without Francis's permission in 1993 while preparing to make a television film called A Heritage of Horror, which was not completed. Disney-owned Lucasfilm and Lunac Heavy Industries tried to get the claim dismissed. They argued that permission from Cushing wasn't needed under a contract he signed for the 1977 Star Wars A New Hope film, and they paid a fee to Cushing's estate to gain permission. However, the judge was not convinced and denied the motion to dismiss last December. After the ruling, Disney appealed and got a hearing in London in July of this year. On September 9th, 2024, Deputy High Court Judge Tom Mitchinson KC ruled against Disney's dismissal claim again, saying that the case should move to a trial. The judge's decision was based on the case not being unarguable, but would require more factual inquiry. While the recreation of Peter Cushing has been seen by actors and fans as a potential AI threat, demonstrating how easy people can be replaced, many question the assertion that the late actor specifically requested not to be digitally created back in 1994. Speculation aside, the judge both felt there was enough merit to warrant a trial, and that's where the case is currently headed. So head on over to piratesandprincesses.net to read the article for yourself. First of all, it's very scummy for this Francis guy to sue Cushing's estate as well as his management company. Come on, dude. Have some class here. I know this is Hollywood. I know this is the entertainment industry, so you don't have any class probably. But seriously, what? That's so stupid. That's no different than when Jesse Ventura sued Chris Kyle's widow over Chris Kyle allegedly putting Jesse Ventura in his book, although he doesn't call out Jesse Ventura. He did in the book itself. He said it in an interview. And then Jesse Ventura, after Chris Kyle was sadly, his life was taken away by someone he was helping, Jesse Ventura sued his widow. That's scumbag. That is a scumbag. And by the way, Jesse Ventura wasn't a Navy SEAL, despite what he says. He was a UDT, a member of UDT, which was merged with the SEALs long after Jesse Ventura left the service. Anyway, I digress. Point is, this Francis guy, that is incredibly scummy to sue the family. The family gave Disney their permission. If you want to subpoena them or the representatives over this, fine. But suing the family, that's unacceptable to me. Now, to the question at hand, I actually don't have a problem if the actor or their family themselves say, yes, you can recreate their likeness. This has been going on for years. The Crow famously recreated Brandon Lee's face after he passed away on the set of that film. To continue, they used a little bit of CGI, makeup, and wigs on a stunt double so they could finish making that film. The Dark Knight. Most of that movie had been filmed, and Heath Ledger had completed everything except for a couple of scenes. So they used CGI, makeup, and wigs for a stunt double to finish the last few scenes. Although Heath Ledger did the majority of the shots, like 99.9%, they still needed to just finish just a few extra scenes. Now, they sometimes can go a different route with that, where they cast a lookalike actor. They did this with Bruce Lee for Game of Death, I believe, where he died during production, so they used a different actor who would wear disguises and then splice in Bruce Lee's scenes. Now, apparently that has had varying degrees, and they've had to recut it several times, but anyway, neither here nor there. Point is, this is nothing new to Hollywood. This is nothing new to the entertainment industry. So if the family or Peter Cushing himself gave permission to Lucasfilm to say, hey, yes, you can use my likeness. Now, in 1977, this technology was in its infancy. Computer generated images were barely being used at this time, if at all. And so he probably didn't have a concept for what that looked like. If you want to make the argument, well, he didn't know what he was signing, he just thought it was for book covers, comics, toys, etc. Okay, fine. But the family did give Disney permission to do this. So I don't really have a problem with this. I know Mark Hamill has given Disney permission to use his likeness as well as his voice if they want to recreate Luke Skywalker for animation or even for live action like they did in The Mandalorian and in the Book of Boba Fett, countless other times. So I don't really have an issue with it on its merits. Now, if they do it without the actor's permission or the family's permission after the actor or actress has passed away, yes, I have an issue with that. But if they said it, that's their decision. It's their likeness. They should be able to do that. Ephraim Zimbalist Jr., who was a brilliant actor, but to me, he was always Alfred. He voiced Alfred in Batman the Animated Series, as well as Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. He allowed TBN to use his voice way deep into the future. He would be the one whenever TBN would come up with their little logo and say, TBN, broadcasting for 70 years, or whatever the number was. He continued to do more and more numbers for them. I saw an interview with him at the time before he passed away where he said that he was up to, I believe, 125, and that was before he passed away, so he probably did a plethora of others. So even after he had gone, he gave TBN permission to continue to do that. All that to say, I don't have a problem with it if the actor or the family representing the actor gives permission. Now, that being said, I also have an issue with them, this Francis guy, suing over a movie that wasn't even released. So if Peter Cushing did say, hey, I'm giving you exclusive rights for my likeness, at least for this film, and remember, this is just before he passed away, then the movie doesn't get released. Well, in my mind, remember, I'm not a lawyer, so there's no legal advice. Maybe if there's a lawyer in the comment section who can clarify this for me, especially if you're in England, I don't see how that matters. If he had signed exclusive rights away for a movie that didn't even get released, if I'm on the jury, I'm kind of like, yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. The movie didn't even come out. Why would I think that this has any merit? Now, if the movie had come out, maybe there is some merit to it. Now, this might sound like I'm running cover for Disney. No, I'm not. In fact, I hope Gina Carano owns Disney by the time her lawsuit has finished, as well as the other people who are suing Disney for a variety of reasons. So no, I'm just saying in this particular instance, I don't see an issue with them using his likeness. If he agreed to it or if his estate agreed to it, that is none of this Francis guy's business, quite frankly. And I think it's very scummy of him to sue Disney people over this and the family when the movie that supposedly Cushing was going to appear in didn't even come out. So that's my take on it. However, I will say, just as an aside, I remember when Rogue One: A Star Wars Story came out, there were people who didn't want to like it just because it was a Disney Star Wars project. And I understand that, but we have to be honest. I didn't think the CGI was as bad as people said it was. Now, that is just my opinion, and I'm happy to state that. I didn't think it was as bad. I actually thought it was kind of cool when I saw it in theaters, and even when I rewatched it on DVD, I thought, hey, that's kind of cool that they brought Grand Moff Tarkin back in this way. That is neat. Now, like I said, that is just my opinion on the matter. However, like I said, I just want to restate this is not me running cover for Disney. I'm certainly not a Disney shill. You can go back and watch my other videos. I just want to keep it honest. I don't think that this lawsuit means anything or has any merit. Everyone else who is suing Disney, if their lawsuit has merit, I hope they take the company to the cleaners, and I hope Gina Carano owns them by the end of her lawsuit. If you liked that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment and tell me what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications whenever I post new vidcasts, and consider becoming a channel member where you get all kinds of exclusive perks, including a video where you get to see it first before the general audience does. Now, if you don't want to support me on Big Tech, click on the link to my locals community. It's kind of like a Patreon and Subscribe Star. You can send me tips for the articles that I write there. You can also become a monthly subscriber. I'm going to be doing a lot more exclusive stuff there as well. You can also pick up one of my novels. They're available on Amazon. Cacophony and the Seven Royal series is also available on barnesandnoble.com. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.